Om Namah Shivaya. In my last satsanga, I was speaking about that at the end, before getting liberation, the yogi isolate himself, like a bear, yes, going into hibernation. So even if he's in a group, even he's in a community, in a big ashrama, he tries all the time to isolate himself, to be alone, to meditate, to be all the time introverted. Yes, he doesn't want to be with people, with friends, with no. He wants to be alone. He secludes himself. Yes. So I wrote in the book that you become like a bear entering into hibernation mode. So hibernar, yes, in Spanish, hibernación. So you, like the bear, like this animal, you go to a cave and you sleep there in winter. Yes. Well, it's the same, the yogi. The yogi wants to be alone because any distraction, like friends, like talking to people, is bad because you are concentrated on the final goal, to attain liberation. After liberation, you can do whatever you want, yes, because you are liberated already. You can do whatever you want. So you don't need to be spiritual, yes, to behave spiritually. You can be a normal person, you can do whatever you want. In general, after liberation, you can be whatever you want. For example, you can be a businessman, you can be anything, whatever you want to be. But in general, sometimes, not in generals, yes, you can become a guru, so it's spiritual, related, or you can become a spiritual poet. You can write poetry about spirituality. These are, in general, two things that will happen. But there is no restriction. So after liberation, you can return to normal life and to continue with your job and with your thing. Yes. All the efforts and sacrifices are until liberation. After liberation, that's why it's liberation. So you have more restrictions, so what liberation it is. Yes, after liberation, you can do whatever you want. But in general, they started to be gurus or to teach somehow, to help people to do something like this. It's normal, or spiritual poets. It's normal. Some of them leave the body and they help from another state, not a state with the body, physical body. What is this? Well, something strange, yes, but they merge into Shiva, into God, and they help people without a physical body. So you don't need a physical body to help people all the time. You can help people with physical body or without physical body. For example, now Bhagavan Nityananda, my grand guru, the guru of my guru, helps people without physical body. And he has a lot of devotees in India, more than my guru. So how is that possible? Because it doesn't require a physical body to help people. So you become like a bear entering into hibernation mode, so to speak. Yes, your worldly life will continue more or less as always. You will have to manage it. But you are now prone to being alone with your own self most of the time. What will Dora do with her job? Nobody knows. Yes. But she will have to manage her job somehow. But you don't want to work at that time. You want to be alone. What will happen? Nobody knows. She will have to manage. Other people become a factor of disturbance. Even if Muktananda said, at the end of your spiritual path, even if you move a finger, it's a disturbance, it's a distraction. Because you are so concentrated, yes? Even in the movement of a finger. So imagine to be with people. You cannot be with people. I remember that in the last part of my sadhana, I isolated myself like this. Uh, Even living with my mother, I spent most of the time alone in my room, completely isolated. I try to interact with her the least, yes, so little as possible. So I didn't want to interact with her because she was a disturbance to me. After I finished with my liberation, I told her, "Okay, mother, I attained the goal of a human life in the morning. I remember because it was in the night my liberation." And she told me, "Oh, stop it, son. Don't say stupidities, please." Stop it, please, with these stupidities. Because my mother was like this. Mother, son is son, not liberated. No. I remember I was serious. Mother, today I attain the goal of my life because I got the revelation of Shiva. Yes. And I was trembling. I remember because after the experience, you tremble because it's tremendous vision, a tremendous experience. But she thought that I was trembling because it was cold, because it was winter. So she told me, "Why you tremble so much? Are you cold?" "It's winter, mother. Well, these are the talk with my mother. And my mother never realized anything about me. So I live with her like alone. Yes, so because my mother, tremendous. This show that you can be in front of someone, some guru, or even in front of Jesus Christ, and you never realize. Yes, some people is like this. What? And he told me, "Stop it, please. What imagination you have." You have a good imagination. And I was 8 months in trances every night, 8 hours, something like this. And in the morning, I was trembling. She asked me, "What happened to you?" And my poor mother. Now my mother is dead, obviously. But it's funny thing with her. She was Shakti in this form, this ignorant form, like a joke. In India, for example, my guru got a liberation is different because India, they have a culture, spiritual culture. So in their case, it's different because they help the person to attain liberation. For example, in Argentina, you are a beggar, and in India, you are a saint. In Argentina, you don't want to work, you want to dedicate to liberation. You are a beggar, yes, on the streets. But in India, you are a saint. They help you, they give you food. It's different cultures. That's why he had some advantage. I didn't have this advantage. So more or less, I had to survive by myself, even in the process of liberation, because nobody was helping me. For example, bringing me food. No, that's not happening. It's harder. In India, it's easier because the culture helps you. And okay. Other people become a factor of disturbance during the trances, the samadhis, in which the eyes must be closed. Fortunately, this advanced phase in spiritual evolution is relatively short, thank God. After attaining a certain degree of trance, one can stay with other people and his trance will remain undisturbed because one can enjoy the self even with his eyes open. This is superior trance. Trance with the eyes closed is inferior trance. But you can have trance, samadhi, with your eyes open. Oh, this is great. It's greater trance, superior. To be in trance with the eyes open is a mark of a very advanced spiritual aspect. Very advanced. He's practically liberated indeed. In a nutshell, he experiences his freedom during periods that are longer and longer every day. Yes, this is a very limited way to describe the whole process, as time is not perceived during the trances. No. However, I have to describe here the things in that simple manner for most spiritual aspirants to understand me. In trances, you are for a long time in trances, but when you come out of the trance, it's a few seconds. You remember the story of Muhammad. Muhammad entered into trance when a vase was about to fall. A vase is, with flowers, this vase was about to fall. He entered into trance, Muhammad, and he went to heaven, and he spent his entire life in heaven. Next, he returned to his body again. He opened his eyes again, and the vase was still falling. So what is an entire life in trance is seconds in this time, in this time frame, in this timeline. That's why nobody knows how much time in trance, because how the time delays a lot. Not delay, dilata. How is delayed? Delayed, dilatar. Dilatar in English is delayed, I suppose. Dilatar in Spanish. In English, dilate. Dilate. The times dilate. In Hungarian, tagul. In Russian, расширяться.
Растягивается, расширяется.
In Portuguese, dilatar. So it's like in Spanish. So the times dilate. It's a dilata in Spanish. So you don't know how much time. Until the self is realized as he essentially is, one is always in trouble and not perfectly happy. All the time in trouble. You have problems because you are in ignorance. After liberation, you don't have any more problems. But people say, but you have problems after liberation because all of your problems you're speaking about all the time. No, I don't have any problem. This is a mystery. They say, but Gabriel has problems. A lot of problems. Look at now with his stomach. He needs this treatment, blah, blah, blah. You have problems? No, I don't have any problem. Why? Because there is no universe. What is that? There is no universe. What is that? It's mysterious. That's why when I translated Tantrasara chapter 9 yesterday and I uploaded the translation, he was fighting the Mimamsakas, followers of the Mimamsa philosophy. According to the Mimamsa philosophy, every object has a quality to be known. So you know an object according to them because the object has a quality. And this quality you can call it knowability or knowableness, some invented word like this. Yes. The state of being known. So you can know an object because the object has a special quality in it that permits you to know the object, to know it. According to Trika Shaivism, that's not true. So Abhinavagutta was denying this, and he said, Swaprakashameva, that the self is the subject, not the object, the subject, the self, Shiva, this guy in you, all the time watching, Shiva. The self in you is Swaprakasha, is self-luminous. And Kinchid, he said, Kinchidapi prakashate, na Kinchidapi prakashate. He doesn't shine regarding other, no prati, kinchit prati prakashate, not kinchit pratika prakashate. He doesn't shines regarding something. So what is this? So he was denying the theory that the object has a special quality called knowability, knowableness. That's why you know the objects. No, he said that the subject shines, this subject, by himself. He doesn't need any knowability in the object to know the object. He knows the object, did it. And that's it. There is no quality in the object. It's his own power. And he said that he doesn't shine regarding something. Why did he say that? Because there is no something. He's alone. There is no universe. He's alone. If there is no universe, there is no object. He's alone. This is the meaning, the mysterious meaning in Tantrasara chapter 9. So why a liberated person doesn't have problem? Because to him there is no universe. But you say, but I was watching my guru, for example, Muktananda. He had a lot of problems. He had a stroke 2 times, I suppose, a stroke 2 times. He was sick. He had diabetes, maybe, I don't remember. If my memory serves me well, he had diabetes. He suffered. Why are you saying that he had no problems? No, he had no problem because to him there is no universe. There was no universe when he was in the physical body. No, this is a mystery. It's a mystery of the liberation. After liberation, because in liberation you realize that you are alone. All these people around you, all these objects exist like you. You are completely alone. This is liberation. I'm alone. You are Shiva alone with your powers. Not only me, it's you. You are Shiva. It's not that, oh, only me, look at me. No, you are Shiva too. That's why when Muktananda one day, my guru was asked about if it's not arrogant to say that you are God, yes. But it's not only that I'm God, everybody's God. There is no arrogance because everybody's God. But you can tell me now in ignorance, I'm not God because I'm in ignorance, I'm not liberated. No, you are God anyway. This is the truth that the Guru reveals to you, that you are God. Shiva, Brahma, whatever the name you give to God. You are him, this guy, the witness, the subject, all the time watching. You see that all the time you are watching around, conscious. This consciousness in you, this is God. And you are this. You are not this guy with ego, yes. No. This guy with ego, Gabriel Pradipaka, this guy, yes. Not Pradipaka is spiritual. Gabriel Arce, yes, my surname. This guy has problems. Robert Graf, this guy has problems. Yes, this beautiful woman, how is the name? Dora Krishan. This woman has problems. But you don't have any problem. Shiva has no problem because there is no universe to him. If you go to Shiva and you ask him, why is this universe so terrible, Shiva? Why we are suffering so much? He will tell you, what universe are you speaking about? What universe? This is a mystery. So this universe is so real, and it's real because it comes from him. It's real. It's not like they say in in non-dualistic Vedanta that this all is an imagination, an illusion. No, it's real. But it's one with him. It's his body. So the universe exists because it's real. You see the universe around. But it's part of his body. It's one with him. It's not separate. So while you are in ignorance, you are all the time in trouble. All in all, practically nobody is totally happy on this planet. Practically nobody. This is the truth. I can go to Vietnam and some guy there will tell me, but all the thing that he will tell me will be, I'm suffering. I go to China and they will tell me, I'm suffering. I'm suffering. I'm fed up with suffering. I suffer every day. I suffer because of this, because of that. All the time suffer for something. If I have money, I suffer because I have money. If I don't have money, I suffer because I don't have money. I all the time suffering. How to escape from it? You understand that you suffer all the time. You now you don't have money. For example, oh, I'm poor. I want money. With money, I will be happy. No, you will have some happiness. Yes, but not completely happy. You will have other problems, and you will suffer again. You will have another kind of suffering. Okay, you will change your suffering only your kind of suffering. That's why, if not so, all the billionaires would be liberated already. All the billionaires, Elon Musk, how is Buffett, this Warren Buffett, all of them liberated. Bill Gates. No, it's not so simple. No, money is not the solution. It helps you. Yes, helps you. But it's not the solution. And in another way, destroys you. Because when you have money, a lot of money, you attract wrong people. So a lot of wrong people will come to you, yes. Included the bandits too, yes, to steal your money, always included. So in the past, you sleep very peaceful. You slept very peacefully, and now you have a lot of alarms in your house, a lot of protection for your house because you are rich. So you have a lot of new problems, but you cannot stop having problems. Therefore, because this is the truth, because everybody's suffering, even if I go to a remote place, yes, in Antarctica there, and someone will tell me there, I'm suffering. It's like that. You are cold, you suffer. You are hot, you suffer. You suffer all the time. Here, yes, we are so cold outside. Yes, my God, yes, cold suffer. You go to Brazil, you suffer. So hot. Oh my God, so hot. Oh, give us cold. I remember in the past told me some people from the north of Argentina, very hot. Give us some cold, please, from Moscow. An Argentinian told me. We're suffering with this heat. You suffer all the time. You go here, you get frozen. You go there, you, you melt yourself. And so everywhere, everywhere. That's why when a person says, I don't want to suffer anymore, ah, this is important. Not when he says, I want money, I want to be happy with women, with money, no. When he says, I'm fed up with suffering, I want to solve this problem. Yes, quiero solucionar este problema. I want to resolve this problem. This is the aspirant, spiritual aspirant. Even if he doesn't know, he's a spiritual aspirant. He wants a solution. That's why he started to look for a guru, for someone teaching him how to stop suffering. Therefore, jealousy and envy are useless here. How to become envious of someone else if he's not perfectly happy in the same way you are not perfectly happy? How to become envious? You know, envious, yes, envidioso. How to have envidia, how to be, oh, I envy of you because you are so happy. Look at me. No, everybody suffers. So it's to change only suffering. Envy in this context is, as a result, a useless activity indeed. Everybody will die. So why you are envious of someone else because he's younger than you? He will die too like you. It's only later, but he will die anyway. So why you are envious of youth? For example, now my body is not so young, so I am envious of a young guy. Why I have to be envious? He will die too. If he would be immortal, okay, yes, I can be envious, but he's mortal like me. So what's the point of being envious? As I have stated before, a limited individual is the very self gone crazy. What did I mean by gone crazy? That the individual, all these people, are the self, are Shiva, but crazy. Shiva crazy. I did not merely mean to say that the limited individual is the self gone mad because he carries out the usual mad actions you can witness happening in this world, yes. These crazy actions are just a predictable result of his internal madness. I meant to say something much deeper than that. Not only because he's doing crazy things, yes. The limited individual is the self gone crazy because he's the supreme self, but at the same time, he does not know it. He's Shiva, but he doesn't know that he's Shiva. He lives like this in ignorance. He's Shiva all the time. He cannot deny this. You are Shiva. You cannot deny this. I can prove that you are Shiva, but you don't know it. You don't experience in yourself this Shivahood. Besides, in spite of his ignorance about the self, he insists on searching for him outside. It's crazy. People are all the time looking for him. In money, in women, in men, in children, in family, everywhere. It's only him. But they don't know. They think that it's men, women, family, money. It's him. Because he's money too. He's women. Who is giving you tremendous pleasure, men? Yes? Women. And who are women? Him. His manifestation. His Shakti. So in the end, you are looking for him. One way or another. All the time. Whether you know or whether you don't know. Even ignorant people, yes, all the time looking for money, is him. They're looking for him. So all of them, all people in this world are devotees of the Lord in one way or another. It's a mystery. But when a person knows that he's looking for God, it's a spiritual aspect. He knows already that it's not man, it's not women, it's not men, it's not family, children, etc. It's him, spiritual aspect. He's ready to be disciple. He's moving. Uh, the limited individual is a strange state assumed by the self in which, even not knowing that he is the self himself, he undertakes a search for the self outside. Crazy. He goes out for the self when he's the self inside. Outside is anything from particles within the atoms up to the farthest frontier in the outer space. They want to go to Mars. They want to go to Alpha Centauri, another star. They're going to go very far from the planet. They say, well, what is this? They are looking for him all the time. The limited individual in his natural state of ignorance, that is, not being a spiritual aspirant, looks for the self in family, sex, parties, music, informatics, cinemas, drinks, soccer, football, baseball, fashion, other limited individuals, outer space, sun, moon, planets, galaxies, black holes, etc. It's all the time about him. Flying saucers, extinct dinosaurs. They are crazy about dinosaurs. Journeys, organizations, money, political power, military power, supernatural power, subatomic particles, mathematics, bars, oceans, beaches, tourism, drugs, unseen monsters sneaking around, haunted houses, and along, etc. Whatever you are looking for, yes, this is him. The reader can add his own long list to mine. Anyway, despite his arduous efforts, such a limited individual never achieves perfect satisfaction and freedom. Why it is happening? Simple, because the self, as he essentially is not there. He's here in you. So the spiritual path starts in you and ends in you. It's nearer than your breathing. Shiva is you. The spiritual aspirants are also limited individuals, but they know for sure that the self is not outside. They are not so stupid. They are more intelligent, such as the rest of limited beings do believe. This is the main difference. It's inside. The self is inside, obviously. Pay attention to the words I'm using, outside and inside. Of course, the self is beyond space and consequently there is no outside or inside in his case. Nonetheless, I need to describe him in a way that is understandable to the reader. This truth about the self as he essentially is, residing inside, has been expressed for eons, for a lot of centuries, millennia, even millennia. Nevertheless, the vast majority of limited individuals cannot get it yet. All the time they say it's inside. No, all the time they go outside. In ancient times, this truth was pretty evident. But in the modern times, people find it difficult to understand that the self is inside. Certainly, that when you realize the self inside, you can also perceive his power outside, like the universe. And as his power and he are in full unity, he is then perceived outside as well, in the form of the entire universe. But this realization is only true in the case of enlightened sages and not in the case of the limited individuals, limited beings. One common characteristic among the limited individuals is their assuming to be in possession of states and qualities that are treasures of great sages only. For example, freedom. They are free, yes, we are free. Consciousness. They are conscious. They know what they are saying. They know what they are doing. Not conscious. Free will. In Spanish, libre albedrío from the Bible. Free will to do everything. No. These are characteristics of a liberated person after liberation. If you have all this before liberation, for what you need liberation? For nothing. When you realize that you don't have all this, you need liberation. So it makes sense, liberation. Before, when you are free, you are conscious, you have free will to do everything. So liberation is nonsensical. For what? I need liberation. That's why you ask a common person, you want liberation? Liberation from what? If I'm completely free. Knowledge of reality. They don't know reality. They know only what the senses are showing them, not reality. They see the bodies, but this is not reality. They don't see the self in the bodies. Real power. Outside, you can do nothing. Your doing is only internal. This is shocking because people all the time doing something outside. It's not real doing. It's a reaction. Real doing is coming from real consciousness and freedom, real freedom. What people does is react all the time. They react to external circumstances, not real doing. Real doing is only in the possession of Shakti, the power of God. The power of God is doing, not the people. This is obvious. Yes, if you live for some time on this planet, it's obvious that real doing is not your possession. You live for some time in this planet. And I live already 59 years. Some microphone is open. Okay. So I live 59 years. So I realize after 59 years here that externally the doing is in the hands of the power of God. It's apparent that there are people doing things, but no, it's in the hands of the power of God. And we can see this now in the Qatar World Cup, yes, with all the teams fighting. Yes, it's in the hands of God. Apparently, a team is the winner. Nobody knows. It's in the hands of God. Nobody knows. This is obvious that nobody's doing. It's in the hands of God. It's so obvious to me that when I see matches, the Qatar football, yes, Qatar World Cup football, it's so obvious that every match is the will of God only because nobody knows what's the final result. Nobody knows. It's a mystery. So the power of God is doing. Nobody else is doing. Where are the winners? Where are the losers? It's only him. As all of them are the self gone crazy, they behave in that mad way all day long. So they believe that they have real freedom, real consciousness, real free will, real knowledge of reality, real power. That's why they don't make efforts to attain this freedom, consciousness, free will. Why to make efforts if I already have this? Yes. For what I need liberation if I'm free already? So liberation makes sense when you realize that you are in bondage, when you realize that you suffer and you cannot stop it. So liberation makes sense. For example, if you think that you have $1 million in your pocket, yes, maybe you have a diamond there because so 1 million you cannot fit into the pocket. But one diamond, you think, oh, I have a diamond, $1 million diamond in my pocket. You are sure about this? You don't need money. I don't need money, 5 million. But when you check your pocket and you realize that you have nothing, at that time, money makes sense for you to get money. Yes? Not when you think that you are a millionaire. In the same way, liberation makes sense for you when you realize that you don't have liberation. But most people think that they're liberated already. They are free. So liberation makes no sense. You tell them about liberation from what? If I'm completely free. I have free will, I vote for president, I'm free. What liberation? You can see this madness happening in yourself all around. For instance, one is always right. Yes? All people are right? Obviously, they are right. Tienen la razón, like in Spanish we say. Tienen la razón? Yes, I tengo la razón. Obviously, I'm right. I know what to do. I know what's happening. I know what is the best for me. Come on, boy. This is a constant state of people. Most of them. There are exceptions. The exceptions are the disciples and the aspirant, spiritual aspirant and disciples. These are exceptions. So people who are not so sure that they are right. I'm right. So if you are right, why you are not liberated? Well, maybe it's a mistake. By God, no. You are so right. You all the time are right. Yes, when you speak, you are sure about your opinions. Your opinions are right, are the best. Why you are in bondage? No. That's why when you go to a guru, his opinions are important, not your opinions. His opinions are important. This is very hard for disciples. Very hard because they live all the time in the belief, the constant attitude that their opinions are very important. One knows what is more convenient to himself. Yes, what's the best for me? Yes, I know, obviously, to do this. Okay, do it. To be with that person is the most convenient to me. I remember in the past when I was with a woman, my attitude was different. For example, I thought, well, maybe I'm not the best man for her. She needs another kind of man, more worldly, because she wanted to have money for the child because she had a child. I need money. And a yogi with money is very difficult. Yes, a yogi with money, million, is very difficult. So at that time I thought, well, maybe she need a guy with money. I know this yogi, poor yogi. So yes, so she's not convenient for me. I'm not convenient for her. But this kind of thought is, in general, it's not happening because in general you feel that you are the best for everyone, and everyone is the best for you. Yes, it's okay. It's fantastic, fantastic for us. It's constant arrogance, constant arrogance. One knows what to do on the next moment. Obviously, I'm ready. Are you sure? Yes, I'm ready. Hmm. Look at this. Hmm. Okay. We'll hope that this video will be okay because I'm checking some technical aspects now. Okay. So one understand others perfectly. You understand other people? Yes, I understand, obviously. Perfect understand. Are you sure? Yes, completely understand another person. But you are in the position of another person to understand that person. Yes, obviously. I place myself in the position of another person. It's all the time like this. It's arrogance. I understand you. Are you sure that you understand? To understand, you have to be in the exact position of another person. Are you sure that you're in the exact position of another person? Or you are all the time in your position? One is always on the right path. Yes, the right path. I know what to do. One thinks rightly. My thoughts are completely correct. One is able to make decisions. My decisions are right all the time. I'm able to make decisions, etc. If all that were true, the limited individual would not be limited, but fully liberated. You understand the craziness? And this world would not be like this, but a real paradise. It's all an illusion. So, one of the first things a spiritual aspirant must do is to abandon all those illusions little by little. If he insists on appropriating states that are not his own yet, he will remain a limited individual. That is someone full of illusions, but devoid of real knowledge and power. You want real knowledge and power, you have to renounce these illusions. It's hard to renounce. That's why the process of renouncing is very, very gradual. Muy gradual, over the years, little by little. This is the main way his power deludes people, by inoculating illusions. You are free? Yes, obviously. You know what to do? Yes, I know what to do. Are you ready for everything? I am ready for everything. Are you sure? You are ready for a cancer? No, I'm not ready. I'm ready for a cancer. Okay, you have cancer. Oh, I get cured? No, you cannot cure. You will die in 2 months. Are you ready? Yes, I'm fully ready. No, it's all arrogance. Another arrogance is the illusion that you can be intact despite the external circumstances. For example, I won't be affected at all. No, you will be affected. You will be affected. Only a conscious man, only a liberated man is unaffected by everything. But you have the illusion that you are a conscious man. You are affected. The illusion of freedom is the main one. This is why most people are not interested in final liberation from bondage, also known as spiritual enlightenment. They have no use for it. What's the point of making enormous efforts to be free when they're already free? You have to be aspirant, you have to be disciple, you have to obey your guru for years, to suffer a lot. For what? You are free already. This is delusion. It's an apparently innocent illusion, but it has the power to doom zillions of people to a life replete with bondage. Spiritual aspirants are supposed to be free from that illusion to a certain extent. Hence, they are looking for a way out of bondage. So spiritual aspirants are different. They don't have so many illusions. They know more or less that no, I'm not free. That's why I want freedom. His freedom, the freedom of Shiva, the freedom of God. So the concept of freedom for an aspirant is different than the concept of freedom for a common person. The concept of freedom for a common person is to do whatever they want. No, but it's not freedom. To do whatever you want is not freedom. Freedom is a state where you know who you are. This is real. His freedom. When he shares his freedom with you, this is real freedom. This is liberation. That's why in Trika Shaivism, liberation is when you attain his freedom. Or better, when he shares his freedom with you. The transformation is like this. You start with powers of knowledge and powers of action limited. These are called Vidya and Kala Kanchuka, tattvas 8 and 7 in the list of 36 tattvas or categories of creation. Common people use only these categories, to do and to know. Next, when they are in deep sleep, they don't use these categories because they are in deep sleep. There is no object to know, no object to interact with, to do something about this object because they are in the void of deep sleep. Next, when they move to Shambhavopaya, to the state of Vijnana Kala, between the tattvas 5 and 6, when they are ready for liberation, this Kala and Vidya Kanchuka, these powers of action and no knowledge, limited powers of action and knowledge start to disappear in that person. Finally, not finally, next, in the state of mantra, when the person gets liberation, enter into the state of mantra, at that time, Shuddha Vidya start to awaken. Shuddha Vidya is the pure knowledge of Shiva and replaces the common power of action and common power of knowledge of a limited person. So before he did many things, he knew many things. But when Shuddha Vidya after liberation start to awaken, he does. And he knows through this Shuddha Vidya. So he expands his actions and his knowledge. In a way you need to experience to understand. Next, when he moves to the state of Mantreshwara in Tattva 4, Shuddha Vidya is fully awakened. Not only start to be awakened, no, fully awakened. And when he moved to Tattva 3, Shuddha Vidya transformed itself into the will of Shiva. Now you are doing like Shiva. For example, you can give grace. You can initiate disciples. From Sadashiva, from Tattva 3, you can initiate. Not like a common person. You cannot initiate like a common person. You need to go to the level of Sadashiva, the level of grace. And from this level, with the Icha, with the will of Shiva, you can initiate. It doesn't matter the distance. You can initiate. You have this power, real power. Next, you enter into Shiva and Shakti. That was 1 and 2, and the universe disappeared. No more universe in this state. In this state, Icha, the will of Shiva, transforms itself into Swatantriya, the freedom of Shiva. This is full liberation. This happens automatically from Tattva 5, Mantra, Mantreshwara, Mantra, Maheshwara, Shiva. Automatically in one session. You enter into trance and you automatically. This is liberation. Just as one would not look for the director inside the movie, one should not look for the self outside. Yes? You cannot see the director of a movie inside the movie. You start watching a movie of Cameron. Yes, you cannot find Cameron, James Cameron. James Cameron, yes? The director. You cannot find James Cameron in the movie. You watch Avatar, yes, and you cannot see James Cameron there, yes, with all the Nallis. How we know Nallis? Navis. I don't remember the name of these guys. You cannot be with the avatars there, James Cameron. No, because he's the director. He's outside. In the same way, Shiva is outside the movie of the universe. He's the director. The universe is his movie. He films this movie through his inconceivable power. You cannot understand this power. You cannot conceive this power. Inconceivable. You cannot conceive. All you can see outside, for example, mind, body, other people, trees, atmosphere, sun, moon, galaxies, etc., is the work of his unfathomable, insondable, unfathomable power. Insondable. Insondable en Spanish. In Portuguese, insondable. In Russian, бездонный. In Hungarian, mérhetetlen. So in this insondable is unfathomable power. You cannot understand this work of this power. The power is the movie. The director of this movie is behind the camera. That is inside, figuratively speaking. As the director is the self, this guy, the self cannot be found on the movie. When you watch a movie, you become aware of the name of the director in the credits at the end, but you never see him as the director during the film, in the middle of the scenes with the rest of actors and actresses. No. You realize, oh, James Cameron, oh, Spielberg. At the end, yes, in the credits, or at the beginning, in the credits, they put the credits at the beginning, but not in the middle of the movie. Yes, there are directors who are also actors, yes, but this is exception, because someone can tell, hey, but there is a director who is actor too, like, for example, this guy, very famous.
Tarantino.
Eh?
Quentin Tarantino.
Quentin Tarantino, another guy, Mel Gibson. Mel Gibson, I suppose that he was director in Braveheart, and he was actor too. I suppose, I don't remember well. But my memory is not very good these days. And Mel Gibson, Quentin Tarantino. So, but this is exceptional. It's only an analogy, an example. Yes. I'm just using an example in order to explain a reality that is beyond all descriptions. Examples will never be that exact with regard to the self and his power, of course. And why you do not see the director as the director during the films? Because this would spoil the film, the movie, destroy the movie. The director is there, oh, it's a movie, look at me here. No, destroy the movie, destroy the fiction. You are in a movie, yes, and you believe the movie. Yes? If you remember, oh, there are cameras, there is a director, it's only fantasy, it's artificial, so you cannot enjoy the movie. To enjoy the movie, you need to believe in the movie. Yes, that's why you enjoy this world, because you believe this world. Yes, you enjoy these football matches, yes, Argentina, Brazil, because you believe that it's real. So you enjoy or you suffer. It's the same enjoyment, but negative. But because you believe, you say, it's a movie, it's not real, it's fantasy, it's only actors and actresses. So you destroy the movie. That's why the director, the self, is not appearing on a cloud there, yes, saying, oh, I'm Shiva, I'm here. Yes, no. God will never appear behind a cloud saying, I'm God, I'm here, humankind. No, that won't happen. He's all the time outside the movie in order not to spoil the movie. Likewise, the self hides himself behind the camera in order not to spoil his movie called the universe. To look for the self as he essentially is as the director outside is certainly entertaining, but absolutely foolish. People try to look for God at the beginning of the Big Bang. Yes, now it's useless. He won't be there. They try to reach God there at the beginning of the Big Bang when the universe expanded, yes, but they cannot even never reach that point. Never, they can never reach that point. They with the telescopes, they can never reach that point. He's all the time escaping. In the same way that the shadow of your head escapes from your foot, you try to step on it. Yes, your shadow, your head. You try to step on the shadow of your head, and the shadow of your head moves forward. In the same way, the self all the time escapes from the movie. Yes, put separate. One will never find him in that way. Next chapter in the book, adapting the ancient teachings to the modern times, a necessary task. We'll discuss this new chapter, page 41, in the next satsanga. For today, it's enough. Om Namah Shivaya.